welcome my beautiful angels. It's Peaceful Paradise 7 and today I want to talk about good girl syndrome, how to say no without sounding rude, and how to really stay in that good positive energy vibes even when you say no, even when somebody is not going to be really happy about it. Once you're going to learn this technique, maybe even some of your friends will disappear from your life, and I want to say that's still okay because we're doing this for a reason. So please stay with me and let's begin. For a long time, the message that we all received as women was to stay small, to just help our husbands, to just be like underneath somebody. You need to be good, you need to be compliant, you don't want to be trouble for anyone or anything like that. And I see now that we are going to another spectrum where drama is just like popularized. We all want to see dramas, we want to see like bad girls, we want to see the girls who say what they think and they just being kind of naughty, okay? I feel like especially social media and TV and different dramas, they're trying to show those women because they bring in drama, you know, to the shows, to the episodes. We always see like two spectrums. So we see women who are so nice and so kind and they're gonna give you the whole world without even expecting you to say thank you. Or we see people who are like, no, I'm not gonna compromise, this is who I am, F you. And I believe there is a balance, that beautiful balance that we can all be. So the question is, have you ever felt guilty when saying no? Or have you ever feel guilty because you said yes and your heart and your soul was whispering, no, 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 don't do it? This video is gonna be like a sacred permission slip that I'm giving you. You can't be soft and still say no. You can't be kind and still have your limits that people notice. And you can be very feminine and flirting and still being very firm. So let's get real. People pleasing isn't a personal trait. It's a disease. It's also like a nervous system survival mode. We have been programmed to be people pleasers because of the lot of things that happen in our past. It often starts when you're being a young child, when you're being praised for being like a good girl, or you're being praised for doing what other people want you to. So I've seen people who had like few siblings when they were younger, and maybe they were the the ones who always behaved right, and the parent just praised them for that. They'll say like, look at your sister, she always acts right, she always says the right thing. And we've been programmed to be like, you know, okay, I need to be a good girl, I need to please my parents, I need to please my teachers, I need to please my friend, I need to please my boss, and then obviously I need to please my husband. So this is all conditioning. You feel safe when you're being good, okay? It's like a safe place that we all want to be at. So you become easy to love because you are being easy to use. But your softness was never meant to be exploited. It was meant to be protected. And you are the only responsible person that can protect it. A true powerful woman is being here to be protected and guided. And I feel like we always have to remember that God is our savior. I'm not talking about the God that's going to punish you when you do something wrong. I really don't agree with that. The God is there to accept you, okay? You're in this planet, you're on this planet Earth, so the God has already accepted you. He has already loved you. He has already forgive you all the sins, all the bad things that you do. Now it's your responsibility to do it for yourself, to love yourself, to give yourself permission to live on your terms. And we are here to be aligned with our values, with our goals, and with our Creator. Holy Mary only said yes once when she really meant it and when it came from divine. In Proverbs 4:23, we can hear, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. Oh, this is so powerful, okay? So powerful. Guide your heart because everything comes from it. And you can't guard your heart if your energy is being shattered in all different directions because, for example, you say yes to so many opportunities, you say yes to do everything, you say yes because you're like, oh, I'm so powerful, I'm the go, go, go girl, so I need to be everywhere and I need to be everybody's cup of tea, okay? I believe like it's an act of worship when you say, I'm so sorry, I'm not available for this, thank you so much for inviting me, my time my womb, my energy is present. My time, my womb, my voice is a gift, and not everybody will have access to it. I decide how I want to spend my time, how I want to live my life, what my values are, and how I want to show this to the world. I was probably one of the biggest people pleaser that I met in my life, okay? I would please people like there is no tomorrow. I would act like I'm just not important. Probably until I was 18 and I moved out. I was living on my own. I moved to study. I think there was a situation that happened with my friend when I saw that I was always there for her. I like, I would give her my entire world, and she just wasn't there for me. When I needed her, when I needed my comfort, when I needed to talk to somebody, it was always about her. And before that friend, I used to have different friends, and most of the times that's how it would look like. I would literally I would say, okay, my problems are not important, I'm not going to share them, you're the most important here. And I think I also did that because I thought that this is what I want to get, so if I'm going to give that to them, they're going to give it back to me. In real life, people don't always treat you the same as you treat them, and it's a very clear lesson. That was a clear lesson for me, that I need to choose my friends carefully, okay? Because I want to be surrounded with people that I can count on, that I can trust them, that I can truly be myself. I don't want to shrink myself. I don't want to make myself smaller, because what I used to do when I see that somebody just wasn't on, in the same sort of life situation that I was, let's call it like this, I would just make myself smaller. They wouldn't feel uncomfortable being next to me, okay? I would change myself and I would put like mask on to the person that I was talking to, which in reality didn't really work until somebody told me when I was about 23, and he didn't even know me that long or on that personal level. He was just like thereabout. And he said to me, you know what, you need to take your masks off. And I asked him, what do you mean by taking my masks off? Like, this is me, this is who I am. And he was like, no, you wear so many masks, I don't even know who you are. And once you're gonna find your own strength and your own truth, it's gonna speak louder than anything else. And it didn't make sense to me for quite a few more years. I think it was only when I was 25 when I started to really noticing this more and more. And by the time I was 27, I truly gave up doing all the people pleasing. Every single day now, it's like a lesson to me to not repeat my own mistakes. As of today, you can be very firm and very welcome and very kind. And when somebody's gonna ask you to do something, you can say, for example, thank you so much for thinking of me, but unfortunately it's just impossible for me to do it at that time. Or if it's something deeper, you can say like, I'm sorry, that doesn't really align with me, with my energy, with my time, and let's not do it. If you're in the middle of the project, you can say like, you know what, I see you, I know where you're coming from, but how about doing this that way? Or sometimes no thank you, it's more than enough. And when somebody is pushing back, you don't owe anybody a good performance. So you don't have to over-explain, you don't have to over-deliver. You'd be like, I'm sorry, I said no. Why you feel like you have to explain yourself to anybody, okay? Like, no, stop doing it. Stop over-explaining shit. Stop over-explaining to your partner, man, boyfriend, whatever, because it's not necessary, okay? Between us women, our friendships, they work slightly different because we like over explaining. And I feel like when I have my friend, then I would probably give her a bit more explanation so she knows why. But this comes from my heart. It's not that I really want to feel like understood and valued and appreciated. I just want her to understand my point of view and why I would say no or why I would say yes to that. So I like a bit of explanation. That doesn't hurt anyone. You need to know what situations are good for that. And apart from doing the small acts every single day, so once you're gonna find out what you like, what you don't like, what feels good, like I would literally just ask myself, does that align with me? Does it feel good to me? And if the answer is no, or if I'm just feel a bit shaky, obviously I will try to understand why I feel shaky, and once I do, I'm gonna make my decision based on that. The one thing I hate is feeling pressure. So when somebody's pressuring you to do something in your life and you just feel like, okay, I need to make my decision right here and now, you can be like, okay, I need to sleep with it, I need to think about it, like let me just think, okay, what's gonna happen. And in this way you can take your time to make the good decision. I feel like this is also the reason why I didn't want to be involved in the trad wife community anymore, not as much, because the videos that I saw, a lot of them would be like, okay, just please your husband, just be nice, just be good. The majority of them would say, don't talk about your problems, you know, you don't have any problems, you just cook and clean, and he's hardworking, so let it go. And as much as I do understand that sometimes you need to let go, obviously, if you don't communicate your desires, if you don't communicate your issues, your problems, you just agree with everything he says, first of all, that feels like you're being manipulated a lot of the times. Secondly, this is not very authentic, and who wants to be with a person who is not herself, like who is not an authentic version of herself? Like, I'm sorry, but I wouldn't, and I don't feel like any man, they would probably like it for a while. At the beginning it feels great, she's very agreeable, but at the end, he wants you to have your own opinions. He wants you to have your own space in this life. And if you're just saying yes, yes, yes to everything, it's not only easy for him to manipulate you, it's always going to be easy to, you know, for others to do that to you. So the trust can be easily broken in that sense. So that's something that I really don't agree with. Like, be easy to love, don't be difficult, just smile, be a good girl. Like, this is not for me. If your grandmother was always silent, if your mom was people pleaser and she always did you know, she always did what other people want her to, like my mom, she would give the word to everybody, you know, up to a certain point she would give you literally like the last piece of clothes that she had in her wardrobe, only to find out that people used her and abused her in many ways. So I have seen that a lot in my family as well. I actually felt like this needs to stop, and this needs to stop right here and now, and I'm gonna be the person who wants to stop it, because if I am a mother, once I am a mom and I'm gonna have a beautiful children, and you know, if I'm gonna have a beautiful girl in my life, I will teach her that she doesn't want to comply with anybody, that she doesn't have to please people. I would like her to be free. I would like her to be free of judgment about herself, and I would like her to just choose her ways and choose her path based on what she truly desires. And that's very hard when you haven't been trained like this, when you haven't been raised in that sort of family. And as I said, like, my background was not like this. I would have to comply in a lot of the situations, only to find out that I just wasn't feeling happy. I wasn't feeling happy, and I was just scared, okay? I was scared about my parents' opinion, I was scared about my friends' opinion, I was scared about my teacher's opinion. Like, everybody else's opinion was more important than me, than mine. And once you go over this, the life is gonna be just completely different. The life is shifting. The opportunities are different, the people that you meet are completely different, because now people feel that they can't just use me and abuse me. I have my own voice. If I want to say yes, that's gonna be a hell yes. If I'm saying no, they know it's not gonna be like, oh, maybe yes, maybe change your mind, maybe this. No. And I truly don't care that much about what other people think. Up to a certain point, we're always gonna be, you know, we always want to be the part of society, so it's not like you never care what other people say. That's impossible. But you put yourself and your values and what you truly want first. Let me give you the small example that only happened recently. We meant to go for like a weekend away with a big group. That's like a sport event, so we're supposed to be camping on the side, and I wanted to take my husband because majority of the times we go on trip together. What happened was, my husband, you know, I sent him the link about the event, and my husband checked the camping rules, and there was no barbecue, no fire, no this, no that. You couldn't really get a lot of food, only on the side, and we're quite picky eaters, so I don't really enjoy going out to the restaurants, because a lot of the times it's overcooked or not cooked good, or I seen a lot of places that the hygiene was in question to me. So I'm quite picky when it comes to eating outside, and I just, you know, I wasn't very happy myself. My husband let me know that he's not happy too. So what we looked for and what we have decided together, that we will actually stay at a different camp. But the camp was about half an hour away from the main event. So after the event, we'll have to come back, take the shower, and then come back for the evening beer or whatnot, which is absolutely fine. It's just a bit of fuel. That's not a big issue. But in that moment, there was this split of the second when I thought, what others gonna think? Because everybody is staying on the side, okay? Everybody's camping on the side. And I thought we are the only ones who wouldn't do it. So I had this thought through my mind that people gonna think like, oh, we're not very sociable people, we don't like them, we don't want to be with them. You know, there was all sorts of different thoughts that I had in that few moments, until I realized, like, what are you talking about? What are you even thinking about? Okay, does it even matter? Like, we go in there to have a great fun, which we will anyway. And it doesn't truly matter for them. They're not gonna cry because we're not gonna be there for a few hours. Like, it's fine for everybody. I don't feel like I'm gonna be missing out on something, because on the other side, there's gonna be a lot of people, not a lot of showers, not a lot of toilets. So I feel like that decision is just best for me, especially that I don't really like unclean places and, you know, old rusty showers, and that's what I probably expect there, from what I heard from, you know, from other people's stories that already attend this event. And I was like, yeah, like, this is the best thing to do for myself and for my husband. I'm a bit of introvert as well, so it's good for me to actually stay away from people for a while, and it's also gonna make just two of us, you know, happy, because we're gonna be with each other, we're gonna have this lovely together time. And I feel like this is win-win. We're still gonna be the part of the event, but just a different camping. And this is like a win-win situation. But as you notice, if I would just go with my mind and go with my thoughts and be like, oh, okay, yeah, they're gonna think like we're not very social people or whatever that is, you know, all the sort of judgmental thoughts that I had in my mind, I would probably say like, no, we need to camp on that side, until I took the emotions out and I started to think with logic, okay? And the logic is there's so many positive things that can happen from not staying there. So many positive things. And maybe there are two negatives, if you like to call them that way. When you think logical sometimes and you get out of your emotions, this is the best thing you can do. Put it on the piece of paper and talk it out loud, because sometimes when you think something in your head, it sounds real, okay? It sounds like this is the life-ending situation. When you put it on the piece of paper, when you actually say it out loud, you will realize, oh my god, that doesn't even make sense anymore. That's tip number one. So that was just one situation out of millions that, you know, that I can give you today. But the truth is that the whole work that I did, it started here, it started from within. So first of all, you need to understand that there is an issue, if you have that issue, of course. Otherwise you wouldn't watch that video for so long. So first of all, you need to understand there is an issue. Second of all, you need to see the end goal. So who you want to be, what values are you having, how do you want to be perceived in life, and do you want to put yourself first over other people? And I'm not saying to be like Alison from Building the Band, Netflix. I just saw that show recently. Hey, I love the show. However, she is, you know, she is so not only judgmental, and you can literally see how judgmental she is towards other contestants, but she never complies with anyone, and that's not good. Like, that's the other side of the spectrum, when she is just being, hey, this is what I think, this is my opinion, nobody's gonna tell me what to do, and we do it that way. But she doesn't always have to be right, okay? So you need to take other people's opinions, values, and respect them as well. In that show, the girls walked into the apartment and Alison said, open the window please, and the other girl said, I'm a bit cold, and she was like, oh, I don't care, we're gonna have open window 24/7 and you'll deal with this. No, okay, no, like, great for her that she definitely doesn't have the people pleasing syndrome, great for her, but she took it to the next level. She's like, F off everybody, I'm above all of you, I'm the best, I don't care what the hell you think. And this is definitely not the place where you want to be. You wouldn't find any true friends like this unless you're gonna find somebody that is so less confident than you that they're gonna follow you that way. But you're not gonna find the true friends being like that. You probably want to know, and I'm just getting to the conclusion, to the point where I want you to know how I overcome this. So apart from knowing what I wanted, knowing what I didn't want, knowing the facts, knowing that I have this issue, I did a lot of inner work. I did a lot of spiritual work, like somatic and spiritual practices. I asked God for forgiveness, and I asked myself to forgive myself. What I did that, and that was all in the past. So it's one thing to just understand that, and it's the other thing to go through it, to go with, like, you need to go deep. You need to go through all that pain that happened. You need to understand the situations that happen in your life, and they were there for a reason. All the friendships that's gone, all the people that's gone from your life, everything that happens, good and bad, it taught you something, and this is why you are here where you are now. If you're having issues with saying no, great practice is breathing meditation, and it's literally just whispering no. So, switch off all the TVs, music, whatnot. There needs to be like complete silence. Just put the hand on your heart and say, oh, no, no. Just whisper that, okay? And I know it sounds like a bit weird, but do it. Do it for weeks, few times in a day, for few minutes, and you will see that saying no is easy. That's the meditation number one. So simple but very effective, trust me. The second meditation is what I like to call cord cutting. So you just like cut the cord and cut the ties that you have with other people. If you're struggling with a person, the specific person that's on your mind, you can visualize her. You can visualize, let's say, when she asks you the question and you just betrayed your truth and you just always saying yes. Visualize that situation when, let's say, she's standing in front of you, and you can literally see like the cord, like the invisible or visible golden lines that's connecting you both, right? Like we're all connected to everybody and everything. So there is a connection there that's visible. And once she gonna ask the question or tell you something that's gonna put you in that situation when you need to please her, you don't say anything. You just say thank you, and I'm cutting the cord. And imagine like the scissors, okay, the visionary scissors, when you actually cut the cord between you two, and that's it. Like, she doesn't have any more power over you. It's very powerful. And I have my meditation written. I will say, with love, I release this tie. I call my power back. I no longer give from fear, and seal it with light. Just seal the deal. Imagine the light that's coming through you, and do it a few times as well. You can practice in front of a mirror as well. When you looking at the mirror and say, I'm not a service station, I'm sanctuary. My no is sacred. My yes is a gift. I no longer perform for crumbs. I love you enough to disappoint them. Okay, say it again. I love you enough to disappoint them. And hey, they will be disappointed, right? Because if you get used to people pleasing all the time, that's what they expect from you. That's what they want from you. And a lot of people, once you change, a lot of people is going to be disappointed. A lot of people is going to be judgmental, and they're going to be like, hey, you've changed, you this. But you need to keep going. Like, if you see that in your life, that's not a bad sign, that's a good sign. And you can, pat yourself on the arm. And the evening releasing practice, if you like, it's writing things down. I love writing things. It's very powerful when you write it with your own hands. And yes, it needs to be with pen and paper, not with the computer, not on the phone. Hey, it's still gonna work, but I feel like written words have more powers than digital. So you can say something right, where did I abandon myself today and what would love do instead? Yeah. So ask yourself a question, where did I abandon myself today and what would I love to do instead? Do it every day. You're gonna notice every single situation when you said yes, when you should say no, and every single other small, very small, things that might just give you some more clues. That is not just with people. Sometimes you do that for a lot of different things. You would do that for money, you abandon yourself just to get some extra money, and was it really worth it? Probably no. Or you abandon your time and your creativity just to look after somebody that you didn't really want to, or you didn't really have to do it. So just see the small situations when you say yes and write them down and say, what could you do instead? What would make you happy? The most difficult thing is to stay with this discomfort that we feel sometimes when we are saying no, or where we are being unpredictable, because our nervous system is not used to it. It's been wired to do certain things for so long, and every change, like every time when you change your habits, it needs to be at least for a good few months when you're actually going to change it. Or every time when you're trying to change your core belief, your system, it takes time. And don't be disappointed when you're gonna do it again. Okay, no, write it down, do the mirror work, do the meditation again, don't give up. And remember, you're not rejecting others when you say no, you're accepting yourself. And the next time when you feel pressure to say yes, just come back to your body and say, I love you, I choose you over anybody else, and that's it. And remember who you are. You are a very soft woman with a very, very hard spine. A holy woman who honors herself first. Radiant woman who says yes. If my no costs me your approval, so be it, because my yes belongs to me. If this moved you, I invite you to leave me a comment, say what you think, subscribe. I'm hoping to do the videos weekly because I'm very lazy recently, so I don't do them very often. And share it with your sister or the friends who might need this video. Okay, I love you. Take care. Bye bye. Also, I have some amazing meditation and practices that you can use and do it every single day. And I'm gonna put it in that video below. It's gonna be the PDF file that you can just download for free. And I hope that's gonna help you.